With us now on the Michigan Megacast is Dorie Vasquez-Nolan, the Executive Director of Care House of Macomb County. Dorie, thank you for joining us today.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Appreciate having you on. So for those that are not familiar with Care House of Macomb County, tell us about the organization, its history, and what services it provides in the Macomb County area.
Okay. Care House is the Macomb County Child Advocacy Center. Our services are focused on treating child victims of sexual abuse, physical abuse, and children that may have been a witness to a violent act, as well as their non-offending family members. Our goal is to reduce the trauma that is typically associated with child abuse investigations and to support the child and family through the investigation and prosecution and on the road to healing. We are one of about 35 children's advocacy centers located in the state of Michigan, serving over 50 counties, and one of over 900 in the United States. We are accredited by the National Children's Alliance that's based in Washington, D.C., and they set standards that we have to follow to be accredited. You asked also for some history. So back in 1996, a group of concerned parents, business people, prosecutors, and judges had become aware of the Children's Advocacy Center movement, which started in Huntsville, Alabama several years before. Oakland County had already opened a care house, and these parents and business people and elected officials realized that in Macomb County, our children deserve to have a safe space like Care House, which the model of Oakland County Care House, so that if there were suspicions of sexual abuse, that a child could come and tell the details of their story one time to one person, which is a trained forensic interviewer, and not have to relive the details of abuse over and over by talking to police, CPS, maybe a hospital emergency room, and reliving that trauma over and over again.
Dorie, another key part of this is prevention of these traumas in order to ensure that families that may be at risk for some of these traumas, children especially, may be at some of the risk factors for experiencing these traumas, don't have to go through that. What sort of efforts are made through your organization in the Macomb County community and in partnership with other organizations in surrounding areas to prevent these sorts of exposures to trauma?
Yeah. Unfortunately, prevention is always the most underfunded component that we have, but we are proud to be the designated local counsel in Macomb County for the Michigan Children's Trust Fund, now rebranded as Children's Trust Michigan. In that role, we do offer information, training, and education, both to professionals who work with children and to the community at large on how to detect possible signs of abuse, how to react responsibly if a child does come to them with a disclosure of abuse, and just, how to keep kids safe.
We are joined on the Michigan Megacast by Dorie Vasquez-Nolan, the Executive Director of Care House of Macomb County, joining us on today's edition of the program. You can find more information by going to their Facebook page, facebook.com/MCCarehouse. That's facebook.com/MCCarehouse for more information on programs, on events, and other efforts that they're putting forth at Care House of Macomb County. How can people, if they are interested in these services or are in need of these services, how can they sign themselves up or loved ones up for some of these programs and services provided by Macomb County Care House?
To schedule a forensic interview, we do require a referral from law enforcement or Children's Protective Services, but we take calls all the time just from members of the community that might have concerns about possible concerning behaviors of their child, or if it's a teacher or someone else that has concerns. We get a lot of calls that we can help them determine if it's something that probably would be best by filing a 3200 with Children's Protective Services. Sometimes what's normal curiosity or sexual behavior on the on kids' behalfs. But yeah, we're always open to calls from the public. And yeah, sorry.
How important, Dorie, in these efforts is partnership within Macomb County, within surrounding areas, in order to provide these services so extensively to children and their families? Because on the one hand, you're dealing with children, they're their unique personalities, they have their unique existence, but also the familial element of these situations is so crucial, because you want to, in an ideal world, keep these families together, but also eliminate the traumatic parts of those experiences that have a heavy impact on children.
Partnership is really one of the tenets of a children's advocacy center. We consider ourselves a hub that brings together all of the many disciplines that are typically associated in a child abuse investigation. We work with all law enforcement jurisdictions in Macomb County, as well as the FBI, Homeland Security, and Immigrations and Customs Enforcement. Those federal agencies work with us on usually child pornography or human trafficking cases, Children's Protective Services, the prosecutor's office, community mental health, the same nurse program, which is a sexual assault nurse examiner program that is run through our area domestic violence provider Turning Point. And so bringing all of those disciplines together, we know that we can reduce duplication of services. We can better offer support to the family as they're going through probably one of the toughest times in their life, which is what a disclosure of sexual abuse can bring to a family. But yeah, to help bring justice and healing to the child and family, it is best to have that multidisciplinary approach.
We're joined by Dorie Vasquez-Nolan. She is the Executive Director of Care House of Macomb County, joining us on the Michigan Megacast. More information can be found on their Facebook page, facebook.com/MCCarehouse. That's facebook.com/MCCarehouse for more information. Dorie, if people in the community would like to support Care House of Macomb County and the efforts that it's doing, or to provide other support that may be possible, what are some of the ways they can go about doing that?
We are always looking for volunteers to help us with special projects, to help us with fundraising. And we do have a website, but it's under construction right now. So I appreciate you sharing our Facebook information. Through Facebook and the website, we do have links to donate to us. We also have links that are active for our wish list, which is on Amazon. And we also have a big fundraiser, our annual event coming up on Thursday, December 1st. It's called Christmas for Kids, and information will be able to be found on the Facebook page about that also. And that takes place at Cherry Creek, which is in Shelby Township.
Again, the Facebook page, MC Care House. That's facebook.com/MC Carehouse for more information on everything happening with Macomb County Care House, including other programs that you can provide some assistance with, as well as information on fundraising and more to provide these services, these critical services to children and families in the Macomb County area. Dorie, just another few minutes with you before we'll say goodbye. We're joined by Dorie Vasquez-Nolan, the Executive Director of Care House of Macomb County, on the Michigan Megacast. Again, the Facebook page, facebook.com/MCCarehouse. Dorie, what are some other, is there any other information at this time that would be important for our audience to know about Care House of Macomb County, or to keep in mind going forward as you continue to provide these essential services to people and families in the Macomb County area?
I also wanted to just touch on, when you mentioned partnerships, that one of the biggest partnerships that we're grateful for is the partnership and community and support of our community. We know that when we opened in 1996, doing about 57 forensic interviews a year, until today, which is 26 years later, conducting over 800 forensic interviews for suspected child victims of abuse just here in Macomb County. We now operate out of 2 locations. Our main location in Mount Clemens and a satellite center in the city of Warren. The services that we offer besides the forensic interview, which includes trauma-focused therapy sessions, child safety assessments, support groups, referrals to other needed community resources, access to forensic medical examinations. All of these things provided at no cost to the families we served are only made possible by the support of the community, and we're very grateful.
Dorie, appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.